Welcome back to Project Aviate. Today we're diving straight into the skis to separate fact from fiction. Aviation has always fascinated people, those majestic metal birds soaring through the clouds, defying gravity and connecting the world. But with that fascination comes a storm of myths, rumors, and misconceptions. So fasten your seatbelts because today we're busting the biggest aviation myths you thought were true. The video opens above a golden sunset, an airport alive with motion. Planes taxi, engines roar, and the sky glows like liquid gold. This is the world of flight, the most advanced and safest form of travel on Earth. But hidden beneath this beauty are stories that people still believe. Let's start with one of the most common myths. Airplanes are held up by engines. It's a simple idea, and at first glance it makes sense. You see those giant jet engines, the smoke trails, and you assume they're doing all the heavy lifting. But in reality, engines don't keep airplanes in the air, they keep them moving forward. The real magic lies in aerodynamics. The wings are sculpted with precision so that air moves faster over the top than the bottom, creating a pressure difference that lifts the aircraft. In this image, you can see air streams flowing gracefully over the wings, glowing blue as they create lift. The engines simply provide thrust, the push forward. Lift is what truly keeps us in the sky. Without wings, no engine in the world could save you. Next myth: turbulence is dangerous. Picture yourself in the cabin, the seatbelt light flicks on and the plane starts to shake. Your stomach drops. It's an uncomfortable feeling, but here's the truth. Turbulence is rarely dangerous. The pilots know exactly what's happening. They're trained for it, and the plane is designed to handle far worse. As we see through the cockpit view, the pilots remain calm, hands steady, eyes focused. They know turbulence is just air currents, like waves on the ocean. You may feel the bumps, but the aircraft structure can withstand forces far stronger than turbulence ever delivers. The wings flex and move naturally to absorb that motion, just as they were engineered to do. Then comes one of the most misunderstood myths of all. Autopilot flies the plane alone. Hollywood loves this one. They show pilots hitting a single button, leaning back with coffee in hand, and letting the machine do the work. But in real aviation, autopilot is just a tool. It doesn't make decisions, it follows the pilot's commands. From takeoff to landing, every parameter is monitored by human eyes. Look at this cockpit image, glowing with instruments and controls. The autopilot handles routine adjustments, but the pilots oversee every second. They manage weather, fuel, communication, and system checks. Without them, autopilot would be nothing more than a robot waiting for instructions. Now let's talk about the infamous door myth. Airplane doors can open mid-flight. The truth? Completely impossible. The cabin is pressurized at high altitude, meaning the force pushing against the door from inside is immense, up to several tons of pressure. No human could ever open it. In this cabin view, you can see the door tightly sealed, passengers relaxed, the world peaceful beyond the window. The design ensures absolute safety. Every latch, every bolt, every sensor works to guarantee that door stays locked until the aircraft is safely on the ground. And here's a gross one: planes dump waste midair. Nope, that's just another myth. Airplanes store waste in sealed tanks located in the rear of the aircraft. These are emptied by ground crews after landing. The blue liquid people sometimes find frozen on the ground. That's rare leakage, not a waste dump. In this technical cutaway image, you can see the system clearly labeled: neat, efficient, and completely contained. Nothing falls from the sky. Then we have the safety myth: flying is more dangerous than driving. Let's be real, statistically flying is far safer. You're more likely to be struck by lightning than to experience a fatal plane crash. In this split image, you can see the contrast: a chaotic highway on one side and on the other a serene aircraft gliding effortlessly above the clouds. The truth is, commercial aviation is one of the most heavily regulated industries in the world. Every flight is checked, tested, and monitored by thousands of professionals. The margin for error is microscopic. Speaking of engines, another myth says, if both engines fail, the plane will fall like a rock. But airplanes can glide beautifully. Even without engines, a commercial jet can glide for dozens of miles. The wings are designed to keep generating lift as long as there's air flowing over them. Pilots train for this exact scenario in simulators. Just look at this peaceful scene: a plane silently soaring above the clouds, engines off, sunlight reflecting on its wings. Controlled, calm, and aerodynamic, gravity doesn't win so easily. Now comes the electrifying myth: lightning destroys airplanes. You might imagine a bolt ripping through the fuselage, but modern aircraft are built to take lightning strikes in stride. The outer shell is made of conductive material, allowing electricity to flow around the plane and exit harmlessly. In this dramatic image, a lightning bolt flashes across a stormy sky, striking the aircraft, but inside, passengers sit comfortably, unaware that the plane just shrugged off nature's fury. Every airliner is struck by lightning several times a year, and they keep flying safely because of precise engineering and regular inspections. Here's another misunderstood one: airplane windows can break easily. In reality, aircraft windows are multi-layered and pressure-resistant. They're made from several panes of acrylic or glass, each designed to handle the immense forces of altitude. The outer pane takes most of the pressure while the inner panes add redundancy. Look closely at this detailed window close-up. You can see the layers and seals that make them so strong. Even the tiny hole at the bottom of the inner pane isn't a flaw, it's there to balance pressure between the layers. Ingenious, right? And finally, a myth rooted in fear. Old planes are unsafe. The age of a plane doesn't determine its safety. What matters is maintenance. Airlines follow strict schedules where every component from engines to bolts is inspected and replaced as needed. In this comparison scene, an older Boeing 737 flies beside a modern Airbus A350, both steady and strong. The older one may have flown millions of miles, but with proper care, it's just as safe as the newest jet. As the video nears its end, the camera soars through a vibrant sky filled with all kinds of aircraft, commercial jets, cargo planes, and even military jets crossing paths under a glowing sunset. Aviation isn't magic, it's science, precision, and decades of human innovation. Every myth busted today shows just how much thought, engineering, and dedication goes into keeping us safe in the sky. So next time you feel turbulence, hear thunder outside, or watch your plane ascend into the clouds, remember the truth. Flying isn't something to fear, it's something to admire. It's one of humanity's greatest achievements, turning dreams of flight into everyday reality. If you enjoyed this deep dive into aviation myths, hit that like button, subscribe, and join us here at Project Aviate for more unseen stories from above the clouds. Until next time, keep your eyes to the sky and your mind open to the truth.